So in the pre-market in our Zoom room, I'm saying, all right, guys, the risk of short covering is high. The risk of short covering is high. And in the Zoom, not in the Zoom, on YouTube, I miswrote that one. I mapped out a long on um, the AM briefing yesterday. In fact, right here, about the 15-minute mark, I told you where I thought it was safe to be looking for a long. I mapped out one trade for you, and in our group, I mapped out four trades, one short and three longs. The short worked, and two of the longs mapped out perfectly. One of them you actually weren't given the entry. So in the pre-market, we were talking about where I would want to go long ideally. Either the trade I mapped out for you, because I don't know if we're going to go straight up and that becomes our trade, or if we're going to pull back down and trap the trader. So I have mapped out the trade. And I said, if we get down to 40 to 38, I'm going long. And that's where I went long. We're in a sea of 8-point candles, one MES, 20-point stop loss. And I told the group, if I take a full loss here, I am done till Monday. I will remove myself from the trading floor because I would feel that's going to set me up to not be the best trader emotionally, because I actually had a losing day yesterday, not by much, but it was a losing day. So today I said, if my first trade's a loser, I'm removing myself from the trading floor till Monday. Took a little heat, popped it up. Now, this is a trade. This week we talked about what's my profit target. We talked about that on Zoom and actually on one of the AM briefings. I said, I don't know. I don't know what price is going to do. If you you forced me to give a perfect answer, it's when price bounces back in my face. Okay. That is where my perfect exit is. But if I have a great trade location, I want to try to milk that trade. When I got into this long, I told the group, my goal here is if this is actually the bottom, which I have no clue if it is, but if it is, I love my trade location. I want this to turn into a multi-day long, and see how we can milk that and build higher time frame protection layers than just 3-minute protection layers. But that's not what the market had in mind. It went up 100 points and came down 100 points. So let's go to the next thing. So that's where I went long. Here is where I could have added. This is where I recommended if you weren't long and you wanted to go long, this is a great place to go long. And I know Grandpa Roger did and captured 20 points on this move and did very well. In addition, my eyeballs were here on the 100 points. I've never actually captured a 100-pointer. We have in our group up to a 100-point club because one of my traders did get a 100-pointer one day, and it is totally possible. I got within 7 points. Why was I in the 100 points? Because yesterday's RTH IB high was right above it. Okay. And so that's where my eyes were targeting, and we couldn't get there. Now I did have a remainder SPY call that I did exit. And in fact, come over here. If you go to my website, I actually moved this trade into the recent trades area right here. So if you hit recent trades, right now it's on the price map, but that'll disappear. So this was my recap of yesterday. So I did this in my cash account and Tasty trade. That's why this looks different. Like I said, I was hoping for a multi-day hold. That didn't happen. So this is where I went long. This is where I was locking in 30. I probably should have took more screenshots, but here's the screenshot where I now moved it up to the 60-pointer, and it came and got me. And here's my fills, as you can see there as well. So I got out of my remaining SPY calls there from the bracket order that I had in my Tasty Trade account. And then as we were approaching this area here, which by the way was a strong level, it's a strong level setting right there. As we were approaching this area, this is an example of together we trade better. Other traders in my group and traders who weren't even on Zoom, like Justin, was helping me keep an eye out for me on higher time frames of making sure I'm aware of certain things. We were also discussing, do I just take the 100-pointer and exit? Do I try for a multi-day hold? If we get above the 100 points, do I just put my stop at 100? And if price keeps going, great. If it comes back and gets me, well, you captured 100. those were things that we are discussing live on Zoom and on the trading floor inside of Discord, because not every member can be live on Discord. I decided to just have a 2 or 3 protection layers. Okay. Where I was like, okay, if price gets to here, get me out. Plus, I'm locking in 60 points. I'm not going to be upset. So my exit, I still had the 60 points. It was one shot, one kill, done. I was behind at least 3 protection layers and the RTH halfback from yesterday. So I felt I was in a good place, almost like on a chessboard. I felt the king was protected, but the market had other ideas, and we never know where price is going to go. We are just good at where is price going to bounce. And so that is how that worked. And once again, there are my confirmations, and I think that worked out really well.